Hello, students. Today we will take Footprints Without Feet, chapter number 7, The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. Now, something about the author. Guy de Maupassant was a 19th century French author remembered as a master of short story form and as representative of the naturalist school who depicted human lives and destinies and social forces in disillusioned and often pessimistic terms. He published about 300 short stories, 6 novels, 3 travel books, and 1 volume of verse. Best known books are Une Vie, written in 1883, and Belle Aimée, which was written in 1885. The Necklace is the story of Matilda, a pretty young woman. She felt that due to ill fate she was born in a family of clerks. She had no dowry, no hopes. She had no means to become known and loved by rich men. So she married a clerk in the office of the Board of Education. She felt that she was born for luxuries, but she was suffering from poverty. This made her constantly unhappy and complaining. She wanted to have elegant dinners in shining silver and to wear frocks and nice jewelry. She had a rich friend, a schoolmate at the convent, who she did not like to visit. She suffered so much when she returned that she wept for the whole day from despair and disappointment. One evening, her husband returned home. He was very happy. He and Matilda had been invited to the minister's party at his residence. But Matilda was irritated and threw down the invitation card. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Her husband kept inquiring. Finally, she said that she did not have a proper dress or jewelry. She did not want to be singled out amidst the group there. Matilda wanted to buy a new dress which would cost her around 400 francs. On hearing this, Loisel's face had turned pale. He had saved 400 francs to buy a gun. The new dress would consume his entire savings. She told her husband that she did not have a jewel to wear. He told her to wear some natural flowers, but Matilda was not satisfied. At last, her husband, in desperation, suggested that she should go to Madame Forestier, her friend, and borrow some of her jewelry. The next day, she went to her friend's house and related her the story of distress. Madame Forestier went to her closet and took out a large jewel box and brought it, opened it, and asked her to choose any one which she liked. She tried the jewel before the glass. As she was trying it, suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Her hands trembled as she took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress. She liked it very much. She then embraced her friend and went away with her treasure. Matilda was on the top of the world at the ball. She looked gorgeous and elegant. Yes, her dream was fulfilled because the people at the ball asked her name and expressed admiration for her. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. She went home at 4 a.m. fully satisfied. Her husband had been half asleep in a saloon since midnight. Matilda wanted to hurry home. She did not want to be seen by other women in those wraps. These women were wrapped in rich furs. When they reached home, she removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory. Suddenly, she was shocked to see that the necklace was not there round her neck. Louiselle was worried. She didn't know even the cab number. Perhaps the necklace was lost there. Mr. Louiselle dressed himself and went out to search the necklace over the track. He went to the police, to cab offices, and advertised in the newspapers offering a reward. At the end of the week, they had lost all hope. Mr. Louisel, being a man of principles, decided to borrow money and replace her friend's necklace with another identical diamond necklace. In a shop of the Palais Royal, they found an exact looking necklace valued at 40,000 francs. They could get it for 36,000 francs. Loisel had only 18,000 francs. They then borrowed the rest of the money and bought a new necklace to return it to Madame Forestier. She got the necklace back but didn't open the box. Then started the horrible life of necessity of Mr. and Mrs. Loisel. It was necessary to pay this frightful debt. They sent away the maid, they changed their lodgings, they rented some rooms in an attic. She learned the odious work of a kitchen and went to grocer's, butcher's, and fruiterer's shop. Mr. Loisel worked in the evening at some merchant's office. He did copying at 5 sous a page at night. At the end of the 10 years, they paid all the debts. She realized that a necklace had changed their lives. One day, Mrs. Loisel happened to meet Madame Forestier taking a walk. She didn't recognize her friend. She had changed badly. Matilda confessed that she had hard days because of her necklace. Their whole life was changed. It became miserable due to that diamond necklace. Madame Forestier showed sympathy and cried, "Oh, my poor Matilda, my necklace was false. They were false and not worth over 500 francs." Thus, through this story, the writer wants to convey that false pride is the cause of all sufferings. The loss of a false necklace by Mrs. Loisel was not a big loss. Things could have been settled right if she had confessed the loss of the necklace to the owner, Madame Forestier. This small lapse or mistake of Mrs. Loisel makes her whole life miserable and dark. And the irony is that the cause of all these sufferings was a false necklace.